Hello! We're glad to see you're back and willing to begin the real work of putting together a plan to reduce your debt. Like any road trip, you need to know where you are as much as the destination if you have any chance of plotting a successful journey. And remember, our destination is financial peace of mind. Does that sound good? You a little bit anxious? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Well, no, we're not there yet. It's going to take a little bit of effort. And like any long car trip with kids, we may face a few challenges along the way. You know, any journey requires some energy and effort to get you from point A to point B. So, are you ready? You're going to need to do a few things. Of course, you have done your homework from last session, right? You have all your pay stubs, bank statements, credit card statements, bills, receipts for cash purchases, and any other relevant information. Or if you're a very lucky person and you use Quicken or Money, you have just gone and printed out your income and expenses and you have that all ready to go. Okay, here we go. We are going to begin to prepare a budget. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to categorize our expenses and our income. There's a couple ways we can do this. We could do this the hard way, which would be to take the paper printout of your bank statement and each line item, write what it's for, write food, write gas, write laundry or whatever the expense is for, and then calculate that up with a calculator and write it down on a piece of paper. That's one way to do it. That's the hard way. We hope that you will use the easy way, which we are going to show you just next, which is to use an Excel or spreadsheet program. Okay, so here we are in the Excel spreadsheet that you will be able to download at the end of this module. And here we are at Where Am I? My monthly income and expenses. So what you're going to do is you're going to go line by line and you're going to enter your actual income and expenses for the prior month. So right here under income, you're going to put in whatever number that is. If you have a weekly paycheck, say you make $800 a week, you can type in equals 800 times 4 weeks for the month, and there's your monthly income. If you receive child support or spousal support, put that number, whatever that monthly number is, in here, and then if you have some kind of other income that you receive or financial support, then just add that also there. Now we begin the part of expenses. So if you have child support or spousal support that you have to pay, put that number right in here. Any kind of judgments, childcare, your monthly childcare fees, any kind of fixed expenses, you just enter those numbers here. And you just use the numbers pad to just put in whatever those expenses are, whatever those numbers are, and just type it right in and just keep going on to the next thing. So whatever your rent or mortgage amount is for the month, you put that in here. And then if you have taxes or fees, put those in there. Put your heating bill, just keep entering, look through your bank statements, receipts, whatever it is. And as you're marking these things off, as you're finding these expenses, just put a check mark on your bank statement or whatever statement you're paying from, you're getting the number from, so that you know that you have included that in your numbers that you're using here. So we put in our telephone bill, our cable bill, and if you don't have the expense, then just put in 0. We put in this and that, maybe we didn't spend anything on that. Just go line by line, and then we have these categories of other for, if you have something that we didn't specifically list here that's related to housing, you can just put that in the other category. Now, when we come to the groceries, you probably have more than one expense for groceries in a month. And so in order to make it easy to total those up, we have a tab here at the bottom. Let me scroll down so you can see that. You may not be able to see that on the recording, but when you open the file, you'll be able to see a tab at the bottom. It's a red tab, and it is for groceries. So you'll click on the groceries tab, and you'll see a sheet like this, and you'll just begin to enter. You can enter the date and the payee, but you don't need to. If you like, you can just enter the amount. So go through your bank statement or your checkbook or whatever you're using, and say you have, well, I spent $40 on groceries here, and then and check it off on your list, and then $60 on groceries another week, and then we spent $75 here, and I spent $20 there, and just click off all the things that are groceries and enter them on this list. And you'll see that at the bottom of this sheet, I'm scrolling down so you can see, it's giving me a total groceries. And when we click back over to our totals tab, you will see that it just pulls that number right from that sheet. So we'll do the exact same thing for personal care. Personal care would be haircuts, you know, say you went and got a haircut, and then maybe you got a pedicure, or whatever it is that you might spend on your personal care. So you just put all of those items in, and they will total up here at the bottom, and they will just automatically transfer onto our main sheet that we're using for the budget. And then anything that doesn't have a tab at the bottom, or has the blank space like this, you're just going to key in those numbers. So if you have more than one laundry expense in the month, and you want to add them up here in this program, you can just type in the equal sign. Say I spent one week, I spent $10 on laundry, and then I needed something dry clean, so I spent $60, and then I needed something else, so I just hit 10 plus 60 plus, I spent another 25, and then you just hit enter, and that adds it up for you. So that's the other way. And if you have any other living expenses we haven't listed here, you just put them right in there. So you keep going down the same way through these things, your car and lease payment, whatever that happens to be. Gasoline, another item that we have created a tab for. So the gasoline tab is yellow. When you download the file, you'll see this. And here it'll open up a sheet just like the other ones. And like I said, you can enter the date and the payee if you like. You don't have to. Some people like to have lots of details, some people don't. And then you can put your gas amounts. And all that's really important here is that you put in the amounts. And so you spent 15 on gas, then I spent 60 on gas, then I spent 25, then I spent 30. And as you're looking through your statement or whatever you're using to get this information, you're checking off each of those items so you know that, okay, I've included that in my total. And again, here, this totals it up at the bottom and transfers it to our main sheet. Okay, so do you have any repairs and maintenance on your car? Oh, I had to get an oil change, that was $25. And you just check these things off, and you keep on going down the list. Didn't spend any money on public transportation or other. Doctor's bills or payments, whatever it happens to be, prescriptions. Again, if you need to add anything up, you just hit equals, and you type in the number, and plus the next number, and then plus the next number, however you need to do that. And you keep going on down the list. Your car insurance. If your car insurance bill is not monthly, then what you're going to need to do at some point, maybe not here, but when we get to the budget, when we're actually creating our budget for next month, what we'll do is we'll determine what the expense is monthly. So it's what you need to save monthly, what you need to put away monthly to pay that bill when it comes due. So, and we'll talk about that in the next section. But if you paid your car insurance this month, or if you pay it monthly, then you can just put in the monthly amount. And you just keep going like that all the way down, filling in whatever information you have on your bank statement and your checking account and all that other stuff. If you have a line of credit, what's your monthly payment? If you have any loan payments, what are they? You just keep entering the numbers. Credit card payments. This is another one where we've created a tab. This one is the green tab. And because, some people have more than one credit card. And so we wanted a place where you can put in, your, I paid MasterCard. This is where you might want to put the payee, because it helps you keep track of who you paid what to. So I paid them $45. I paid Visa this, I paid them $50, I paid Target $20, whatever it happens to be. And again, at the bottom of this tab, it will total it up, your payments, and it will transfer it right into your credit card payments on the main tab. Okay, alcohol and tobacco, we've created a tab for that. We know that sometimes debt can bring a lot of stress on people, and you might go out drinking or buy more than one bottle of wine in the month. So here's where you can add up any of those expenses, whatever it happens to be. And again, it will total up at the bottom and transfer right onto your main sheet. Same thing for dining out. Another area that people usually have more than one expense in a month. So we just put in, you know, we spent 15 here, 12 there, 22 here, 16 there, 40 here. You know, if you eat out a lot, you might fill up this whole page, and it'll total up there at the bottom, and you can add that, or it'll transfer right over to the main sheet. The last one that we have a tab for is entertainment. So if you went out to the movies, you put, you know, I went to movies, and we went to another show, or we went to a sporting event, or whatever it happens to be, and you just put those numbers in here. Again, it totals at the bottom and transfers right into our main tab. Any gifts or charitable donations, allowances and cash spending. So anytime you take cash out of the bank and you're not tracking what that spending is for, you can put that right in this section. Eventually you're going to want to, if this number is a big number, you're really going to want to start to track that and find out where that cash is going. But for this purposes, we'll just, any cash spending that you can record, put that right in there so you know what your expenses were for the previous month. Another place for other, you know, really, you know, any miscellaneous things that are not specifically listed or do not fit specifically into the categories that we've created would go in other. And then of course vacation travel, if you took a vacation and spent money on vacation, then you might put that there. And as you can see, I haven't been paying attention to all the money I spent this month as I was just kind of randomly entering numbers, and I wound up overspending by $1,164. So I'm going to need to do something about that. But for now, let's not to worry too much about the bottom line. The most important thing is that you enter your numbers, and so we can get to see what the bottom line is. And in the next module, we're going to go over these numbers with a fine-tooth comb. So don't worry too much about being perfect here. Just get it as good as you can. And then we will worry about that, about making sure all the numbers are solid in the next module. Okay, so now it's going to be your turn. You're going to need to download the Excel spreadsheet right below this video and get to work entering your info. If you do not have Excel, the program Excel, you can use a free program through OpenOffice. We have created a video in Module 2. You'll see a video that says OpenOffice video. So if you do not have Excel, go to the OpenOffice video and get OpenOffice so that you can use the spreadsheet that we've created. Good luck entering your numbers, and we'll see you in Module 3.